This week's Collision might have went up 60,000 views from last week's, but it was still the third lowest of the year. And now we're going to look at the 8 quarters that contributed to that 362,000 viewership. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Time for your AEW Collision quarter by quarter hour breakdown. So let's waste no time. Let's just jump straight into it. In quarter one, we have Konosuke Takashita taking on Tommy Billington, and this was actually the lowest quarter of the show. Very rare that the opening quarter is the lowest. Now, it's a Japanese guy with no personality, no gimmick, no mic skills, no nothing, taking on Tommy Billington. I mean, I don't really care who his father was. We don't know this guy. I didn't even rate his father, to be honest, and why would I care? But this, I mean, that's like caring about the guy in NXT, Charlie Dempsey, just because his dad's William. It doesn't work that way, okay? Just because your father is somebody, I mean, it doesn't mean shit. And I think this is a case of thinking they can just put Tommy Billington out and expecting us to, do handstands and bow down and think this is great. It wasn't great, and it actually got, like I said, the lowest quarter of the show. So 328,000, not good. Quarter two, 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. We got Take a Shit versus Billington continued. Then we got a Don Callis Take a Shit at Billington FTR live angle. We got a Dynamite recap. We got London Lightning, whoever that is. Michael Allen, Richard Clark. Who the fuck is Michael? Who is Michael Allen, Richard Clark? And Sean Moore versus Bang Bang Gang. What is it with these trio jobber matches that Collision does? Michael Allen, Richard Clark. How can you have 4 names and every single one of them be shit? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Then we got post-match with Daniels. I believe, is that when they got stripped of the belts? Anyway, quarter two went up 15%. So there you go, 15% increase there. 377,000 views. Quarter three, 8:30 to 8:45. Bang Bang Gang, Christopher Daniels and the Patriarchy live angle. And then we got Roderick Strong versus Dalton Castle. This lost 2%, and it's down 6,000 to 371,000. Quarter four, 8:45 to 9 p.m. Strong versus Castle continued. We got Mark Briscoe promo in there. Then we got Stokely Hathaway and a Chris Statlander backstage promo. I believe that Dalton Castle was knocked out. I think Dalton Castle suffered a concussion during this match, and AEW had to try, it was taped, so AEW had to try and work around it. I believe they edited it, something in the match or whatever. But yeah, I read that Dalton Castle got concussed. Am I surprised? Absolutely not. 3% lost, 360,000. Quarter five, we go into the top of the hour, 9 o'clock to 9:15. Expect a big increase in viewership, don't you? Well, let's find out. Nyla Rose versus Ava Lawless. I mean, who's Ava? First of all, Nyla Rose, we don't care. This is a man, alright? And she's taking on a woman we've never heard of. Ava Lawless. I mean, that name means nothing to me. Top Flight versus Anthony Ogogo and Lee Moriarty. And it didn't go up. There was no increase here. 360,000 quarter four. 360,000 quarter five. It's tough. Normally quarter five you do get that spike. You do get that little bit of a boost. But, I mean, geez, just look at these two matches. Nyla Rose versus Ava Lawless, and then Top Flight versus Anthony Ogogo and Lee Moriarty. Why has Tony Khan completely dropped the ball on Collision? I'm not saying Dynamite's good, because it's not. But Tony Khan treats Collision like not a B show, like a CDEF show. He treats it like it's the bottom of the barrel. It's a jobber show. You get like one, you get one like Dynamite level match on it, but everything else is complete trash. You got bigger matches on AEW Dark. Honestly, you did. I don't quite understand why Tony Khan has just decided to, drop the ball so much with Collision. I think it's like ever since Adam Copeland got injured, because you've had like periods where obviously it started off as CM Punk's show, and then I guess they kind of pushed it to be Daniel Bryan's show, but then Edge came in or Bryan Danielson, whatever he's called, and then Edge came in, Adam Copeland, and they kind of made it his show, and now it's just nobody's show, so whatever. No one's watching it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Quarter six, 9:15 to 9:30. Top Flight versus Anthony Ogogo and Lee Moriarty continued. We get post-match with Shane Taylor, Action Andretti, Diana Perosa, Thunder Rosa backstage angle. Remember when Chris Jericho put over Action Andretti, and then he went on to be a legit main eventer, a draw, a star, a guy that sold seats, a guy that put butts in seats, a guy that sold tickets. Remember that? Remember when Jericho put him over? Yeah, I remember those days. That's why it went up 8%. It definitely had nothing to do with him. You also had Nyla Rose and Sky Blue versus Harley Cameron in here, but it did go up 8% to 389,000, and quarter six was the highest rated quarter of the show. I mean, why is that? I'm not too sure. I doubt it's because of the tag team match. I extremely doubt it's because of Action Andretti. Nyla Rose cut a backstage promo. I highly doubt people were tuned in for that. I mean, Sky Blue did debut new gear. I guess she's a cowgirl now. She used to be the dark possessed evil friend of Hall. What's her name? What's the Julia Hart? Julia Hall? Julia Hart. So I don't know. I guess she wanted to have a new attire so she could show more ass and try and get more views, but it worked, I guess. So yeah, 8%, 318,000. Quarter seven, Sky Blue versus Harley Cameron continued. We then got a blue backstage promo. We got Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, the Bum Boys, taking on Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. This lost 10%, 349,000. And then quarter eight, 9:45 to 10 p.m. It was the ending of this match. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett versus O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. And then we got a post-match with Tomohiro Ishiishi and Trent Barretta. And I think Cassidy hit Barretta with like a wrench or something. It went up 3% to 358,000. But again, just a terrible main event. This is not a main event. This is not a Collision main event level match. Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly taking on Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. This went from the CM Punk show. This went from CM Punk main event and Collision to fucking bums that do not deserve to be in the business main eventing. How did it go so horribly wrong? And I get it. Look, they don't have CM Punk anymore. Adam Copeland is out injured. But they must be able to put on better main events than this. This is atrocious, man. What is Tony Khan doing? At this point, you'd think he's purposely trying to, I don't know, sabotage Collision. I don't know if he's trying to get the Collision numbers as low as possible so they don't look that bad, and so Dynamite doesn't look that bad in comparison. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of reasons why Tony Khan is putting on so many jobber matches, and he's putting them on his main events. It's insane. I get it. Most people will argue AEW is full of jobbers, which it is, but I mean, come on. You can do better than that. That's a terrible main event. Anyway, guys, that's it. Highest quarter was quarter six when Sky Blue came out with a new attire showing her ass off. I mean, is that a coincidence or is there truth there? I don't know. I'll catch you in the next one. Collision absolutely sucks, and yeah, I don't blame hardly anybody for tuning in to watch it. 362,000, way too much in my opinion. Anyway, guys, catch you in the next one. Been Fog Wrestling. Till then, peace.